Hi, my name is Evans Akano, founder and CEO at Crigital. My career path started in 2008 from an internship and graduated in 2010 from industrial chemistry in Imo State University. And I worked in e-commerce for 2 years before I launched out Crigital in 2015. My mission with Crigital was to bridge the gap between local and international brands. So I feel like online, every brand should equally shine. Every brand has equal opportunities for greatness online. So it always bothered me when I see international websites looking better, international apps looking better, and the local ones looking local. And I just thought there could be a brand that stands out for design and technology that would help to reduce this gap between our Nigerian brands and international brands. So I funded Crigital through bootstrapping, totally through bootstrapping in 2015. So the aim was this: if we needed to get the right investors, let's build capacity for what we have. Let's build that name, and then we would sell that name to an investor if we need to someday. So we started with doing actual service for small businesses. And the idea is, if we can do exceptional service for like 20 small businesses, we can walk up to a large business and say, we can also help your perception online. And so that's what we've done so far. We've used small businesses so far to grow to where we are, and now we can attract work from the larger companies. So the challenges we faced so far since we started up until now is like 2 or 3 challenges. One, talent. Talent is the biggest challenge. Either talent comes too expensive or too cheap. Now, by too expensive means that you've tried to find, or your brand is attracting high quality talent, people that already are aware of what works on the web, how to do it, very exceptional people. But they may come to you at very, very high cost. And when you're a startup with a lean budget, you then realize that you can't hire a graphic designer at 450,000 naira. So the flip side of it is you get people that are aspiring to become good graphic designers, good programmers, and those guys are looking for an opportunity to learn. So it comes to you cheap, but you have to put in a lot of work. We had to go for a latter option because we realized that if we grow our own talent, they will be able to, in a consumer environment at least, they will be able to stay, they will be able to do what they need to do, they will be able to build a career with us. The next challenge is internet. So internet in our country is very expensive. When you run a team of 20, as we do right now, you have epileptic internet. You will pay high costs and it will not even be guaranteed. Then there's the light problem, which we had to solve using an inverter. So there are a lot of challenges facing Nigerian entrepreneurs here, and I think we're having a fair share of those things. But at every point we actualize one new client, one new big client, we always see how can we mitigate the problems that are hindering us from achieving our goals. In my worst days, I would isolate myself because I know that I can be very, very annoying when I'm upset. Because in the kind of business we have, I try to live a flat atmosphere where everybody can easily learn from me. I don't have my own separate office. I try to work with everyone because I still feel like we are in that stage where everybody needs to learn from you and learn from every other person. So if we start to isolate ourselves in silos, it may not help. So most times when I get to have those bad days, maybe one client just went for another opportunity, or one client says you're too expensive, maybe one project we didn't deliver excellently well as they expected, I would isolate myself and think about it clearly. What can we do better? Is there any way we can mitigate this? I would call that client, I would try to do all the damage control, but it doesn't make me happy. And there are times like that, and I've realized that these are just part of the business. There are times when you invest in talent, and then say 6 months to 1 year, they're telling you, what, bye-bye, this new company is offering me 5x the salary. And then you realize that is also one of the pains you have to go through because, again, it's an investment. That company may not have hired that person at the time they joined you, and you just took them in because you saw that passion and that attitude for growth, And once the person has learned a few things, the next company is saying hi. So these are down days for me, and I realized that these things happen. You just have to push through. Your brand is like a promise out there. Crigital is a promise out there. People look at Crigital and see hope and see talents doing things without any backing. And they see that, they have they've attributed a lot of things to us, so we can't just fail. So every time we have those down days, we think of the little wins, the smaller wins, all the accolades we've had in the past, and it just pushes me further. Right now, the most challenging part of my job is still managing people. So I think the more I grow in this business, the more the business grows, the more brands out there expect much more from us. So they've seen what you did in year one, what's in store for year two. You're done with year two, what's in store for year three. So I think people out there see us way more than we see ourselves. And that can be a challenge because they expect much more. They're telling you, so I want a site like Facebook. And you're like, listen, Facebook is not built by a team of 10 or 15. You know, there are a lot of restrictions. There are a lot of the fact that there's a challenge with what we even know right now. But every single day, we are pushing ourselves, pushing our knowledge further. You know, the more you do that, the more difficult it is to manage when someone is giving you subpar work. So I see myself losing patience. And that's a challenge, and I'm learning how to deal with it, learning how to see that when someone does subpar work in Crigital's year 3, absorb it, correct the person quietly, and see if the person will improve. So there are challenges like that. You expect much more from the team, and they are trying, but your patience is reducing from where you were and where you are right now. We just keep trying. Okay, one of my core values is hard work. I believe that hard work and persistence. So you can have hard work, then there's persistence. And persistence is actually more important than hard work. I think that people can achieve anything. Again, this is my own orientation, that people have equal. So everyone has one of the shots to success in their lifetime, but will they take it? You know, so I believe with persistence, pick out one thing and be persistent about that thing. And with 1 year, 2 years, you're looking back, you see that you've actually started to attain success. So I believe in persistence. I believe in the God factor. So in everything you're doing, run it by God, or have a part of you that, you know, your instincts, build your instincts should be aligned with God principles, such that once you run it by your instincts, it's more like you're already putting God in consideration. And just do. You know, I believe people, there are so many ideas out there in the world. Only if people actually go and execute those ideas. So you should always think of execution. Ideas are easy. Execution is hard. So I believe, again, execute. And I believe that with hard work, you would be put amongst people that you never expected to be amongst. You know, there's this, my favorite Bible verse, Proverbs 22:29. If you see a man that is diligent in his work, his place is among kings, not mere men. My career has impacted my life in different ways. Firstly, I think I was more of a little timid when I started out. And I realized that when you're doing business, you just can't be timid. You would lose a deal for timidity. So I realized I needed to be bold. So it had me reading books. These books shaped my thoughts on different things, shaped my mindset. And then you realize that over time, you start to take more cognizance to what you wear, because the way you dress for meetings is how they address you. So a lot of things have changed about me, you know, the way I even think about very simple things, the way I don't accept norms. I think that anything that is wrong, you can actually make a dent and change those things. So I no longer throw blame around. Even when I hear people talk about in Nigeria and the government, I just like, what are you doing in your own little area to improve things? So my mindset has completely changed, and this has affected different areas of my life. The way we market Crigital, so it's a very, very funny way. We attract people to us. So there are a lot of things we tried doing in the beginning. We tried doing ads where we just put out ads saying we are Crigital, we design and dev, that kind of stuff. And then we also tried doing a brochure which we sent to companies, but we just thought this is not going to work. If you think about it, when you're handed a flyer, you most likely just roughen it and throw it out. When you find something online, you would want to show someone, here's what I found, here's this cool stuff I found. So we tried to be cool, talking about documenting every day of our lives here, documenting day 1 down to day 400 of what we are doing, you know, down to 3 years of what we are doing. So people are following our growth, and those people, we've sort of created some kind of online army, you know, followers, fans, family sort of online that will talk about us to people where they are working at, their family, their friends, their uncles that have larger companies. And by doing great work for even the companies we've already attracted, we attract more to do stuff for us. So really our business has been based on referrals so far, and it's been going well. So I know the tech industry is growing every day, and how we keep Crigital relevant is we try to position ourselves to be right there when an app needs to be built, a new platform needs to be built, a new brand needs to come out and shine online. We realize that if we keep on staying up with trends, and not even trends as what is available right here, we spend all our time on the web. Either we are building stuff for the web or we are researching what's available on the web right now. We are researching the newest technologies, how to build stuff with CMSs, how to build stuff with other systems available online, design, code, market these things that we are doing. So it's very important to always stay afloat what's going on. That way, really, whatever changes that is happening in Nigeria, you already know about those things because you're watching it from the international scene all the time. So we always stay relevant. Also, we also improve our brand by taking feedback. So a lot of times, we see ourselves doing things like surveys. So we're launching a new product line called Disha, and when we build out simple tools online, we always put out surveys, even on Instagram, Facebook, just to get people's feedback, because we believe that whatever you're building online, you're doing it for the user, not even for yourself. So by getting feedback from them, you are building stuff that is more required for the business atmosphere you are in. Because this is not the USA. You may have the fanciest product here, but if it loads in longer time, it's irrelevant to the Nigerian audience. So we actually have to listen to people out there so that we understand what's relevant for them. I would attribute my success to God. Because even the times when my hard work fails me, I just have that inner power, that extra pull to go further. I don't think it's man-made. I think it's God-made. I think business can be a force for good. So if you realize that what you're doing today is not just for you, you're impacting people around you that are your primary team members, you're impacting people that are looking at you online, that are getting hope to do what they want to do. They are being inspired by your work ethics, by the way you treat people, by the way you carry your team along. These things turn to fuel. And then there's that God part that just gives you, that extra push. What, my son, continue. So really, everything is to God. Then even with God, you still have to put in that hard work, because without work, all your faith in what's really matter. I think criticism is not a big deal. Just listen to what they have to say, and if you can implement what they're saying because they are right, implement. If you have this inner feeling that you are right, then do you. One of the experiences that prepared me for today was back in my secondary school. So again, one can go very far. I used to be one of the best students in class. I realized that when you're doing assignments, you can actually go overboard by reading extra books beyond the scope of what was given by the teacher, just to make sure you're giving a different definition to one course or the other. I remembered in my JS1 when we were asked in the exam, what is agriculture? And I remembered I read in a different book out of our syllabus, a different book entirely, and the book said agri means land, cultura means to cultivate, and that were Latin words. And I was like, this would be a very nice entrance. And when I wrote that to then, before I now described what agriculture is, my teacher was like so happy that this person went further, because the books that were given to read didn't have that element. So I knew how to stay in the library longer in secondary school to look for the things that are not currently in our scope. Now fast forward to like 15, 20 years after. Today, I see myself, because a bank wants to build a new website, I'm looking at 20 bank websites that are the bank websites in the world. I'm looking at what have these 20 best bank websites done differently, that I can pick out unique user experiences and then build out this one. So this one would actually thrive as one of the next 20 best websites. So I think that research model has been part of me ever since then. I don't look at one thing for reference. I look at 50 things for reference. And this is like a very crazy attitude, but it is part of what is my unique selling point. So advantage of being a Nigerian youth. I don't know if there's an advantage, big advantage, but I think one thing is Nigeria makes you tougher. Youth or no youth, any age, Nigeria makes you tougher. Nigeria makes you... So I feel in Nigeria, an entrepreneur, a young person here, you're swimming against the tides. So if you can be able to succeed here, you can succeed anywhere. Really, that's what Nigeria does for you. It just makes you to stand out against all the odds. If I was to rule Nigeria for 1 month, I'll spend time in picking the right people to be able to help out in building Nigeria, in rebuilding Nigeria, in every sector down to. So you have the right people in governance in each state, and have those people even find the right people in governance for local government area, and then find people that would even be there for councillorship. The problem in Nigeria is not age, it's not youths must rule. Because if youths rule, to be same bad youths that would eventually chase governance. We need the right people at any age to be there. I think we need the right people in governance that have the right mindset, that understand that yes, you are open to all these monies, but what is important is what you're going to make as impact. We need the right people to not just be there, but also listen to the right people. We can't keep hearing news of simple things like logos being done for millions of dollars. So we need the right people there, and we need them to also know the right people they are working with. So not just the presidency, not just the state government, down to every level. We need better people in governance. Not honest, not just hardworking, better people, better mindsets, better orientation. Smart people, we need them there in governance. So anyone out there starting a business, I would advise you to work really hard in the beginning. Work really hard. Don't work smart, really. You would end up cutting corners. Work really hard in the beginning. Build your team, build your business. Hi, my name is Evans Akano, founder and CEO at Crigital, Design and Development Agency. I am a story of the Nigerian youth.